Okay, here we go. I think we're live.
I would have put
Hey,
some
guys.
Dragons.
Nah, it's fine. Do you have a Dragons jersey?
Yeah, hold
Of
on.
course he
No,
does.
grab one. Yeah, fuck it.
Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, clip! What a clip! Already got a clip.
Viewers who are watching, Lattie's just gone to get the Dragons jersey. What a start to the stream.
If it's one of his players, he's gonna like squeeze it on.
Fucking on the bench, boys. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
What a legend.
50th jersey, lads. Let's go.
Hey, boys, and welcome back to the Saints podcast. Here with my co-host Matty and Julian, here today with the Rugby League Journeymn, which is actually quite ironic considering his podcast name is literally Rugby League Journeymn. It's Journeymn Latimore. Jeremy, how are you, brother?
Yeah, good lads. Obviously, late kit change, but just looking for the sticky spray now to run on the field. I'm ready to go.
Let's get into it. Matty, would you like to hit him with the first question?
Yeah. Well, first of all, what jersey is that one you got on there?
That's a 2018 away jersey, isn't it?
Oh, bro, you are all over it. Yeah, 2018.
Honestly,
We know our jerseys.
My 150th game against the Panthers, actually against my fellow journeyman mate Jimmy Maloney. They rinsed us out.
That game. I don't think we scored a try that game.
We got rinsed.
We 22-2. I remember. I think if I remember that score, I don't know how the heck I remember that, but we didn't even score a try that day. We got absolutely pumped.
Man, us Dragons fans, we remember the bad ones and the good ones, don't worry.
No, honestly, it's true. It's true. All right.
Hopefully, more good to come.
Sure. Sure.
Matty?
My first question for you is now, obviously, at the time, you did play at Cronulla for a short stint. You've also had 2 stints at St. George. I want to ask you a little bit about Shane Flanagan and his coaching when you were with him, and what are your thoughts on his coaching now at the Dragons? And yeah, just want to get your take on what it's like being on both sides of the venture, being a Cronulla player and a St. George player. What is the feeling like on both sides?
Yeah, obviously I come into that team in 2017, so they'd just come off a grand final victory. They had an unreal group of leaders within that club. You know, you had Paul Gallen, Jimmy Maloney, Luke Lewis, Wade Graham. Then you obviously had Big Fafita and Matty Pryor in the front row. Obviously Benny Barber, and then you had your younger guys like Val and Jackie Bird. So, and sorry, I forgot Mick Ennis, man. There's probably 3 or 4 blokes within that team who have the ability to go and probably 2 or 3 to be NRL coaches. Just with their football IQ, their leadership styles, and Flano assembled that squad. So I think with that group of boys they had there, there was so many senior players with Flano's touch that they obviously, I think 2015 they went out and didn't make. I think they didn't make the prelim. The next year they got it all together. I think Jimmy come in that year actually in 2016 as well, and he was sort of like the final icing on the cake, and they went on to win the premiership. So when I come in, it's always hard, I guess, with the young Panthers team. You know, they're the exception, but there was a lot of older boys there, and we ended up losing the first week of the finals. But look, Flano was good. He can be a cranky bugger, but he's got his way of coaching, and I think with what he assembled there, that they, along with his guidance, were able to lead that team the way they did to. And they probably made 3 or 4 prelims in a row, or maybe 3 prelims in a row. So now he's come into a club where, how do I say this? They're still on the rise. And I did an event with him a couple of weeks ago where I was the MC, and we're having a bit of a chat. And, and then again, I think 2 games since then, we've lost. Who did we lose to before the Bulldogs?
Roosters and Canberra.
Roosters, Canberra. So we've had all these games where we're so tight in the arm wrestle, but we're just not getting the job done. And obviously you're throwing the 1-pointers at the beginning of the year. And when we're chatting, the Canberra Raiders, the 2018 come up because they were very similar. If you go back and look at their...
Yeah, no, they were. I remember.
They were losing. I think they lost 8 or 9 games by less than 6 points, similar to us. The following year, with a little bit more, class and a bit more icing on the cake, they were able to make the grand final, and they should have beat the Roosters in that grand final. So, mate, I think Flano, with what and the big thing with the group of boys we had, and obviously we've got both Couchman's out, Dylan Egan. I think now Sione Finau's out injured, plus obviously Val's out. But all these young guys, and this is what Flano said when he was talking to the people who are at the event, they're going to be 50, 60 game players in, 2 or 3 years. And then he keeps assembling, the right leaders, which, he's gone and got Gutho, Cookie, Val, obviously Clemens come in. Because you need the leaders within the group because the thing you need them boys on the field. Like Penrith are an exception. Like they've got young guys who were leaders from a young age, whereas most other clubs don't get that. And you can see that. Like Broncos have been talented forever, but their young guys just don't seem to be the same as these Penrith boys. So Flano assembles the right people around the players he has there, them young kids, and when they're 50, 60 game players, they don't say you're an NRL player, you hit 50 games because you're good, you shit, you're good, you shit. Like that consistency isn't in your game. So I think, and he's obviously built a competitive team this year, but we're just not getting the job done in some of these games, which is obviously really frustrating as a fan. But, sometimes I look at the comments on the Instagram or whatever, and like fans can see that the boys are having a crack, are actually having a crack, but they're just in moments, they're still not there. And whether that's inexperience from the young guys, we're still lacking a little bit of class. Because we're still in the market for players next year. So obviously frustrating because we want to be in the top 8 every year and competing for grand finals. But I can see we've made notable strides this year in terms of being competitive every week. I think I saw something. There's only one, maybe Melbourne or one other team has been flogged more than us. We've barely been flogged except maybe Redcliffe or someone.
Twice,
that and Roosters. I think there's only been 2 games this year.
2 games we've lost 13 plus.
Yeah,
and that's the biggest thing, right? Like in the NRL, if your worst games is not far off your good game, you're in, and that's the same as when you're an NRL player. That's the whole goal. You want to be your best game's got to be close to your shittest game because if you're going good, shit, that's inconsistency and you'll lose your spot. So they're close, but they're just not there yet. And obviously, Flano, I feel is trying to do the best with what he has at the moment, but we just probably still do need a few signings, and obviously with a few more people going out the door this year. That will hopefully get us in better stead for next season.
Yeah,
there's still an opportunity now to go out and keep competing every week and learning, and obviously we'll touch on that Cowboys game because I feel like that's a real opportunity for us.
I didn't have this as a question, but I wanted to ask you, when a player retires after playing for multiple clubs, I wanted to ask you, who do you support? Because a retired player, I've always wanted to know this because someone that's played for so many teams, now as a fan, who do you sit back and say, that's my team? Obviously, you're speaking from the Dragons' perspective, but who would you say is your favorite team? Who would you say is your NRL team?
I'm still involved in the corporate team with the Dragons, so they're still my team, man. I'm riding the wins and losses because I've got a vested interest with the commercial. We'll be good or bad if we're good or shit. So and to be brutally honest, the commercial is doing really well. The supporters who are going to our hospitality, the suites and the boxes and the corporate rooms, they're obviously enjoying the football.
Yeah. Julian, do you got a question?
Most iconic moment in the Red V jersey.
Yeah. That 2012, man, the Anzac Day game, that was really cool. Obviously Mickey Wayman offloading the big Mickey to Benny Cray. And then the 2018 Anzac Day, but the prelim up there was hectic because no one gives us a shot. We're getting smacked over the back end of the season. We'd fell to shit. Then we righted it in the final round, beat the Knights, and we went up there and man,
you scored in that game, didn't you, Latsy? You scored against the Knights. I remember that. You scored in your second stint. You scored in that game, and then the next season, first first try scorer against the Storm. Which who would have put money on that? But I tell you what,
money for Journeymn. I had 1,000 on it. You couldn't bet on getting that. I do have a few mates who backed me though, and then I've freaking said it since that season. If we didn't lose Gaz, and I think Vaughnie was out injured, and obviously Tarek did his foot at halftime in the Rabbitohs. But if we stayed fit, man, far out, we should have beat Rabbitohs that game. I think Honey played short. If we played out the back, Dryfield would have stripped them against the Rabbits, and then we're playing against the Roosters in that next week.
That's still a tough pill to swallow after all these years.
I actually was going to ask you, what was the let me get on my question here. What was the locker room like before the Broncos game? Because I know for a fact, all the fans, all the media, just completely gave the Dragons no chance. I wanted to know what was said in the locker room. What did Mary say to really inspire you boys? Because I think that really shocked us all. I'm a diehard Dragons fan, but even I was like, where's this team been in the past few months? Obviously, because we had that late, but we came out firing. I remember we scored with Pereira, but that got disallowed. But that was in the first set. From then on, we just went bang, 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 bang. Really gave Broncos no chance to win that game. So I wanted to ask you, what was the vibes like? What was the locker room like that day?
Man, your memory is unbelievable. I'm flat out remembering half.
You don't forget this stuff, mate.
I actually got a good memory. I got a good memory. So.
I remember Tarek scored a few tries, but no, I think we always had belief within our team, right? And I think a lot of rugby league players, you generally have belief and confidence in what we're doing, and I think that win against the Knights, we scrapped it and got it done, and how I was talking about the young guys not having a great deal of experience, and obviously a few senior players. They had a lot of young guys at the Broncos, and I think they'd been playing mad over the back end of the year, but that inconsistency that day, and we just got come out of the blocks. Gaz was on fire, Tarek was on fire. But yeah, Mary's, man, I love Mary. Mary's good. He raw as they come. If you played well, he'd tell you did. If you played shit, he'd be brutally honest, which I love that about Mary. He's a really good man, and I know some people didn't, in terms of fans and that, didn't have that opinion, but for me as a person, as a coach, I loved him. He's a great bloke and real stand up and straight down the line.
Yeah, that's fair. I wanted to also ask a question about the exact same thing, but for the Souths game. Now, at halftime, I believe the score was. I can't remember this one. I'm pretty sure it was I don't know. I think we're winning by 2. I could be wrong. I think we're winning by 2.
8-6 or something.
Yeah, I think it was 8-6.
Yeah.
We're winning by 2 because I remember Ben Hunt scored. Was there genuine belief in there? Because I felt obviously we're winning, but I said what was said in the locker room, because I felt like if you look back at it, and Adam Reynolds scored all the Rabbitohs points that day, which is actually crazy to think about. He put the Rabbits on his back and single-handedly won them the game, because, to be quite frank, the Rabbitohs as a team didn't play. I know they beat us, but they didn't play that well. Obviously they did, but I don't know.
It was the week after all the semi shit come out with the Facebook Messenger and that. So all the heat was on them. We'd won, so we sort of flew under the radar. There was no pressure on us. But no, man, I think at halftime we genuinely thought we'd get it done. And then I remember Cody Walker something happened with him and Frizz, and then he gave a penalty away. We obviously went 2 ahead, and then Reynolds just went pop, pop, pop.
Lomax scored the penalty goal with, I kid you not, 2 minutes remaining. I thought, surely. It felt like that, yeah. Which is actually quite funny, because the next year, Gareth Widdop scored a penalty with 30 seconds to go to take the lead versus the Rabbits, and Campbell Graham scores in the corner at the buzzer. I've hated the Rabbits ever since, I can't lie. The Rabbits have broken my heart too many times, bro. But,
yeah. No, well, mate, you take great joy in seeing them at the moment.
But I can't. Dragons. I'd rather the Dragons get absolutely pumped than lose the heartbreakers that they have. Honestly, I can't deal with the 1 point losses.
I agree.
Like
It's the hope that kills you, man.
it's been a thing for the past season. I feel like Dragons haven't been that team to capitalize on a close game in terms of like if it's tied. Although we have field goal kickers, we can't seem to actually get one. I know it's crazy, but I don't know. Like I remember there was a 2-week stint with Corey Norman in 2019 where he kicked against his Bronx and the back weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that was the last time I actually was happy. But yeah, continue.
It's just a little bit of game awareness. Like, and man, I talked to like I got a 12s team that I coach who are like they're unbeatable. Like they haven't lost in 4 years, and I'm already talking to them about game awareness. You got to like tackle 4, you get tackled on the sideline. Get the ball back to the middle because you got to. It's an easy kick. Then if you're kicking off the sideline, you can only kick to one spot. I think we're still just sometimes in big moments, which when you're under pressure, I get it. Like it's hard out there in the middle. But yeah, the boys are learning. Like I said, there's a lot of young boys, and just hopefully we can keep building.
Yeah,
hopefully
Matty,
this 12 months.
I did have a question, and we'll circle around those 2 seasons, your last 2. How did all that change? Because we know how great 2018 was, but then 2019 felt like a full 180. It went from semi-finalists to nearly wooden spooners. And, I mean, we brought in Corey Norman thinking it was going to be a great season, another finals appearance, but what went wrong? How do you feel, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I think the stuff happened with Jack. So Jack wasn't able to play. And then I think Gaz popped his shoulder again, didn't he? I think Gaz got injured early in the year again. So, Jack obviously 2018, man, he played Origin. He was at the top of his game. Gaz was obviously one of the elite 5'8" in the game. So you mentioned like literally them two. That's probably the reason there, you know. They were just so key to what we did in 2018. Obviously, Benny Hunt come in for his first season, and he played really well. And then that next year, you know, he was sort of lumped with everything. And obviously, Normie was there, but we just weren't the same. And Jack was the heart and soul in the middle of the field.
It's very hard to fill in the shoes of Widdop because he was like, if you think back how many years he was at the Dragons and how impactful he was, like. Although Corey was he was great, I feel like people give him too much criticism. I think as a player, he wasn't that bad. I just think compared to Widdop, I don't know if he fell a little bit short of the expectation. And there's nothing against Corey. I think I'm just being a realist here. I like
Normie. I really like Normie. He's great fun off the field as well, but he's very rat's ass, but he obviously far out. Like I don't even know how many games did the lad play. I'm just looking that up now, but he would have played close to 200. So he got that State of Origin game too there in the end. Big Corey purple.
Game 3, yeah.
3 in Otakor. He did.
Yeah, so he played over 200 NRL games, man. Like, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to think. Julian, do you have another question?
Not really, to be honest.
No,
I get questions galore, man.
Matty, give us another one.
I want to ask you a question because this is something that not a lot of players talk about, but you had an opportunity to play for the Prime Minister's 13. Tell us about that experience.
Well, that was my only rep game, so for me it was pretty special. It was 2015, I think it was, and I don't even know. I think we'd been knocked out at the Panthers, so I was enjoying myself. I used to really enjoy myself in the off season once the footy was done, and I got the call up after it, and man, it was it was probably still is the only place in the world where rugby league is the number one sport. So it's chaos over there, and it was a really cool experience. There was a lot of boys within that team who, you know, then went on to play a lot of New South Wales and Australian rugby league. So it's something I look back on fondly. it was, really cool, mate. I scored 7 tries in the NRL. I'm 1 from 1 for the Prime Minister's team. So, mate, if I played Prime Ministers every week, who would have known where I would have went? But, mate, like anything with rugby league boys when you get to go away and because Trent Merrin was in the team who I always got along really well with. So I think me and him were rooming. So it was a fun couple of days over there. But you get the footy boys together. Obviously, we didn't leave the compound. Just got on the piss back at the hotel after the game, and it was good night, man. Good night, and they're sort of relationships that last forever.
Latsy, what made you want to come back to the Dragons? Because obviously there was a 6-year stint where you went from Panthers, Sharks. Was there another team in there? Could be
Back to St. George.
No.
Yeah,
Good testing me out there. Nah, mate, just opportunity. I felt like there was a really good opportunity there. I hadn't played my best footy for the Sharks, and then coming back to because I had a relationship with Mary from 2012 when I got dropped from the NRL team. So I played like the first 13 or 14 games straight. Pricey dropped me, and I was 18th for me in like 5 games. They were going to give me a contract, never give me one. So I had that relationship from Mary, and he, same thing. Like I remember I had a shit game in reserve grade, and he fucking sprayed, like just goes, "You are shit," and I was like, "I love this bloke. Like, I love the honesty." So I stayed in touch, and obviously the opportunity come up, I jumped at it, and then I'm not gonna lie, like that. Even now, like Jimmy Graham, Frizz, and even Huey Aiken and DeBell, they're like 4 guys that I talk to so regularly. Like I love them boys. Great mates of mine, and Gaz with it. So there's literally 5 guys from that team who, mate, we had a lot of fun that year on and off the field. Like it was a great crew of boys. Obviously, that was when we had that Dragons bus. So there was 12 of us coming down.
Well, where did that go? See, when I talk about culture, I feel like the culture and identity is like there's no. I don't know. What ended up happening to the Dragons bus? Because I remember that used to be something.
That's some funny stuff.
Stuff.
We used to have so much fun, and because within that group of boys, like there was some real. Jimmy Graham's a big moody fuck, and I love him. Like he's one of my close mates, but he can be so up or so down. Matt Duffy, so up or so down. Honey was always pretty steady. Frizz, you didn't even know if he was there or not. So it was great. Like you say, like you talk about culture, like that. I think we're doing like roll the dice and all this shit. It was so much fun. Like I was like a little kid. I was fucking 32 and I was like an 18-year-old again. But it made me going to training every single day fun. It was awesome. I think, you know what, I blame Normie. I said Normie was gravity and he used to whinge about it. And then, it slowly fell. Oh, you know what, Nightingale was a big leader in that as well. Like he was the one who organised it. Yeah, and he went out in 19. So maybe that was why as well.
Damn, bring it back.
Bro, get it. I don't know who's living in Sydney now.
I think half of them do, Half of them do, I swear. Because they do their little vlogs on TikTok and stuff. Heaps of them carpool, come down to Wollongong. There's like
imagine if we were blogging that. We needed to be blogging that back then.
Yeah. If TikTok was up when you were at the Dragons, would you have been doing TikTok?
Right. I would have been a social media star. Nah, maybe I'll come back as the culture coach, and I'll get the bus going every day, man. Bring
100%.
If you ever have financial troubles, all the Dragons hands will fund. We'll all chip in. Right. Matty, you got another question?
Party liaison, just get amongst the boys.
Now, I want to ask you, where did the nickname the GOAT come from?
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
It was literally, obviously, I recognized where my footy ability was. I was lucky enough to play 182 games, and it wasn't, I knew my place in the world. I was a guy that had to work hard for everything I got. And the reason that come about was, I'm pretty sure it was when I hit Kim Smith in the nuts. The NRL guy.
Oh, yes.
Calling me the GOAT.
34 to 14 dominance.
Yeah,
I can't believe I remember this. My head, my knowledge is very right now. That was legendary, bro.
Someone took that photo, made it like a FIFA card, and put like Jeremy Latimore is like 99 rated. He just went, bang.
I literally still get people that come up to me and go, mate, that was one of my favorite moments. But that's out, because Cam Smith was obviously the real GOAT and a legend of the game. You know, people love seeing him get chopped down. And because we're I don't know if you boys are, I'm New South Welshmen, so he's a Queensland fucker. So everyone wanted him to go down, and hey, I got a try assist that day. Macca jumped straight over.
Julian, I know you got a question.
Yeah, I got a mad question actually. What's the difference between a lead up to a normal NRL game and Anzac Day?
Yeah, bro.
What a game.
It's. I think it's. And you'll never compare war to rugby league, right? But and this is. I was actually talking to my kids about this the other day, like, because I asked them about why is Anzac Day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like, and because there's Anzac Day around, I'm like, nah, Dragons Roosters is the best game of the like. It's probably Rabbitohs and Bulldogs on Good Friday as well, but them two games are literally the best in-season games. And what goes with the Dragons Roosters is the emotion of obviously the last post. You know, everyone's watching that game, mate. People are on the piss playing 2 up. I remember I've only met 1 year. In the last 20, I've actually been on the piss was at Anzac Day a few years ago when I was down at the Clovelly Hotel because I didn't have to do anything for the Dragons that year. And everyone was just glued to the TV between 2 up and on the syrup. Like, it's the best, man. The build-up is hectic. Like, you just know everyone's watching it. The SFS or whatever they call it now, Allianz, it's completely full. The emotion, it's you can't compare to it, man.
I don't understand why we get smashed every single year at Anzac. I know, like, you wouldn't answer, but it's just it's so annoying because if you think about it, 2018 we won, 2019 we really unlucky. We
just lost. I think Borny made a break and didn't pass.
Borny got a break, and I don't know if he didn't pass it. There was a chance for a Duff on the inside or someone.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. We had a few chances. I know Frizzell was away that game, didn't score. We had a few opportunities to win that game. Then 2020, I don't even count that as an Anzac.
No, they didn't do it. They didn't do it that year.
Yeah,
Didn't they
it was
do
like,
one in like
we won 21 or 22.
2021 we got pumped. 2022 we won.
that was the last time.
We won. I remember that was a good game.
Bro, I'm 2 from 3. I'm 2 from 3 on Anzac Day, man.
That's a pass.
Fond memories.
2023 we lost by 1, but we scored more tries, which is actually kind of what we're going through now.
Sums up this bit too.
And then 2024.
We won't talk about that. We'll skip that.
Oh, that was
Let's
there's
skip
nothing
last
to
year.
say.
We'll talk about that one.
I don't know.
Even this year's like
Yeah, it was up there this year.
I feel like Dragons always get like I know like both teams are pumped. I just don't understand why Roosters are just a little bit more pumped every single year. It just annoys me.
But back when you know when Jeremy was playing, like in the earlier time of his career, we were belting the Roosters every time. They couldn't beat us. Things change.
What year did you make your debut, Jeremy?
09.
09. So
Yeah,
this
we
is
built them.
the year later. Yeah, and the year later we won the comp against them. We smashed them. So it's like
We've been 3 times that year.
wow, it was only 3.
The good old days, eh?
Little baby.
Matty,
I've got one more question. One more, and I think we can talk about reviews. Now, I don't listen much to the journalists because I think most of the time, for some of them, like Rothfield and Reedy, I don't. But I want your take on something. Reed recently said that the culture, St. George is not a big club anymore.
Oh yes, Brent Reid. Oh, I want to see.
I want to knock him out, but I want to ask Jeremy your thoughts. Is St. George still a big club or not?
100%. That Dragon and that brand, I don't know why he feels like the need to say that. We obviously, we are in a period where we're not as dominant on the field, but our fans are still there supporting us every week, and from a brand point of view, we are still one of the biggest brands in Australia. And I'm sure if you put 3 clubs in the NRL currently and show people from Western Australia, I still think that they would recognise our brand over others.
Yeah. Between us, South,
us Panthers, South, because I feel like Panthers now, because they win all the time, people would know who they are. But I still think within New South Wales, we are one of the most dominant and biggest brands within that sporting market.
Well, I wanted to ask you quickly. I just saw reports that the Panthers have ruled out signing Dewey, so I wanted to ask you that if Adam Doueihi comes to the Dragons, do you like that signing, Jeremy?
Well, I didn't pay much attention to how he played last week, but I know he played 13. So obviously we're losing Big Jackie Boy next year. You're gonna have the Couchies and Dylan,
and Hamish.
Couchies, middles, and that. So you could. I don't mind him as a 13.
I think you either play him starting and Hamish to the bench or vice versa. I think he adds a lot of experience and depth, and he's versatile. He can play anywhere, like on the field. So I
he's
think
pretty tall as well. He's a big build.
I think he's like,
yeah.
Well, I don't know what he is, but I think we have a very good signing.
I think it'd be good, and like you say, whether it's that role on the bench potentially, but then we're carrying a hooker as well, so it's a big thing now, that makeup of the bench. But Doueihi literally can play anywhere, so he could play edge, back row, 13, 9 if needed, and then in the halves, centre.
It'll improve our depth, I think. Yeah,
I can't believe the Dragons like love DeBellin. Just on the side note, I still can't believe.
I can't.
I know when you got, I imagine when you got the news, you were pretty shocked.
Yeah, man.
That was.
I love that man, bro. Like, and he's a guy who, he. You talk about like personalities within a squad, and he's one of them. Like, and obviously he's still bringing it on the field, but rugby league is a brutal game, and I know he's at peace now with what's happened, but it did throw me a bit at the start. I'll be honest.
It's heartbreaking, and I feel like he has to. It's not that he has to go to Para, but I don't think he actually genuinely wants to go to Para. I think, but he has so many more years in him, I reckon, that it'd be a waste to just retire. Like, obviously he wants to be a one club man, but like I can't. That's actually I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I feel like it's kind of a shot and disrespectful to Jack DeBellin that they didn't offer him at least a 1 year, two something. Because it was 8 games away from getting that record, which really rubs me the wrong way. I can't lie.
Yeah, and he obviously missed a lot of footy with everything that went on, but he's still playing great footy, and he's been
one of our best forwards. So, which is like beyond me. It's all right. So we're gonna head into the review now. Dragons 18, Bulldogs 20. Now, boys. So close. It seemed like it was going to be that Melbourne game of last year where we slowed them down. Our defense would have won us the game, and at the end, I don't want to blame anyone, but I just think if Sloan would have just stayed on his wing for that one play, I just think we would have won. Obviously, you can pinpoint a lot of stuff like the refereeing decisions and like Gutho's short. I don't think people are going to hate and say, why did Gutho go short? I understand it, but if you think about it, a few plays earlier, they actually did the same thing and got the ball back from Luciano Leilua. So it was like, it's a risk, but like they've been doing it all season. So it's like, it's not something, I don't know. Jeremy, what were your thoughts on that game, bro?
Tough, man, tough. Like you say, it's just, there's that feel, you're just waiting for something to happen, and obviously
I knew it was coming at some point. I think the only time where I had hope was when they I remember they dragged Kuraz out of touch, and then Sua put a hit on, I can't remember who it was, but I thought at that point I was like, all right, we're going to win. There's 2 minutes to go. Then 2 plays later they score. So it's a hope that kills you, bro, because I thought we were going to get pumped. I can't lie. So the fact that we came that close and we didn't win really pissed me off.
You said, man, like you don't want to see the team getting flogged, because it is good seeing them being competitive, but sometimes, it would be better if they were getting flogged, just for your mental at peace, because you're there and the heart's pumping out of the chest and you think they're going to get there, and then that happens late. It's not good for the stress levels and the Greys, man.
It's not only that; it's the Bulldogs as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hate the Dogs. I think
I hate the Dogs.
The fans make it worse too. They think they're
we won't talk about their fans. We won't talk about
the Dogs fans. That they don't even earn my time on this podcast.
You literally have families divided, right? Like Bulldogs or Dragons. So
that's my family. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm lucky. I'm not a dog supporter because I'm from a Lebanese heritage, and as you know, Jeremy, lots of the Lebanese either go towards the Dogs. There's Parramatta, St. George are kind of the three teams or Tigers are kind of three of the four teams that people go towards. I don't regret that my dad chose to support Dragons or my grandparents. It's just, I don't know. Julian, what were your thoughts on that game, bro?
Oh, I thought we'd actually run away with it, but look, we gave it to the Dogs. I didn't see it coming. Like beforehand, the girls played and they ran away with it. They scored that last try.
The last second, so it was like crazy.
And I'm just proud of the boys' effort. Honestly, the past few games we've lost the games, but they've been showing that they want to fight for it. And like the Raiders game and the Dogs game, I'm still proud of them. Like they're due for a win, and I feel like tomorrow night it's happening. But
I agree. We can only hope. Right? And they're coming in. They haven't won a game in 7 games. We're 6. I just feel. Oh, actually, hold on. No. I'm sorry. They beat Titans 4 games ago. We beat Eagles. I don't know why I thought it was that, but we.
It feels that long.
Win. I don't know where I got that one. Must have been one of the other games when I was doing my stats. Anyway, it's you just hope that we go out there. They've lost another middle. I think McLean might be out of the middle. Tuolangi's out as well. So they're right for the.
You got to capitalize. You got to play what's in front of you.
It's just I don't know. That's why I'm so excited for next year because no 1-point losses. Hopefully, injuries all gone. Fresh start. 0-0. As I said, no close losses. If we're able to get some new signings, I honestly think next year will be the year where we're actually a very good next year. I think we're going to have kind of like the Warriors 2023, the Cowboys 2022. I think it's going to be that real jump next year. And I'm very excited. If we're able to get Daniel Atkinson, we are getting him, obviously. I don't know if we're going to get another half. I know we're looking for some middles and that. I think if we're able to really boost our roster up for next year, I think we'll be in a really sweet spot. Matty, what were your thoughts on that game quickly before we go into the Cows game? What were your thoughts on the Dogs game?
Very similar to you guys. I wasn't really expecting it. I know that we've had this history with Bulldogs where, it's a bit of a close one, and then within the last 20 minutes, the Doggies just run away with it. But no, I looked at the last 5 minutes, and I'm thinking, don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. Then the minutes went down and down, and I'm thinking we might have them there. And like you said, mate, there's no point blaming anybody because you just got to play to the whistle. You got to play in what's in front of you. And unfortunately, a little mistake defensively, Lachlan Galvin capitalised and he scored, and they scored in the corner, and that's what happened there. That's unfortunate, but we move on to the next game.
Yeah, look, in another world, Sloan catches it and runs the whole field, and we win the game. But
next year, bro.
We move on.
Next year in Vegas.
I've always said this: we're beating Dogs round 1 next year in Vegas. I'm actually so confident. I honestly think. What do you say, Jeremy?
Are you heading over?
No.
I don't know. I'm considering it, but I don't know.
If you drive the Dragons bus that takes us to the airport, then yes, I'll go.
Mate, let's start a petition.
Let's do it. We have time.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Speaking of the Cowboys game, team this reads Gutherson at fullback, Sloan and Corey Allen on the wings. In the centers, Sully and Matt Feeney's back for his first game since the Manly game.
They've swapped, apparently.
Like a position-wise or sidewise?
Like, apparently, pretty sure, Matt Feeney's in the centers now.
Oh, yeah. LKT and Flano in the halves. Gula, Cook, Clemmer, Leilua, Saw, DeBellin finishes off the starting 13 interchange. Jacob Little, Blake Laurie, Hamish Stewart, Michael Molo. Honestly, it's not a bad sign. I would have liked to see a guy like Nick Straganis in there somewhere. Because I think – I know you had a little smoke, Jeremy. Do you rate him?
No. Yeah, no. I was just looking at the team as you're going through it as well. No, he goes good, that kid, and he youthful, good energy.
No, he's good. I think I don't know, man. If it was at our home ground, I would have been more confident. The only thing I'm really scared of is that we're North Queensland. We haven't beat the Cowboys in Journeymn since 2021, round 2, where we beat them 25-18. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, this one's a bit tricky, eh? Like the Dragons, they come in sometimes this year and just go and win away games. Like it's fun to see, but this game is very crucial for both teams.
Whoever, I know we say this every single week, but genuinely, whoever loses his game is like season over, I think.
Because mathematically, they're both still in it.
Yeah,
they're still in the fight.
Well, I think whoever loses his game, their season's over. Because for both teams, from both sides, it's a winnable game from both sides. You know, the Cowboys can look at this, say we're at home against the Dragons team who have so many injuries. We could get them. But from the Dragons side, we've been so close these past few weeks. We're bound to get one, right? We're due for one. I don't know, man. Boys, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions? I'm gonna get you boys to do a score prediction and give us a try score from both teams. I'll start off. I'm gonna go Dragons. I'm gonna say 28 points to 16. I think we'll get a cheeky 12 point. We'll be up by 6 with a few minutes to go and we'll score to seal the game. Try score. I'm gonna go Matt Feeney on return, and I'm gonna go Jackson Purdue. Matty, your turn.
Ooh. It's going to be close again. Dragons 1-12. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Dragons 24. The North Queensland Cowboys 16. And I'm going to say try scorers. Let's have a look. I'll go with Cowboys first. I don't know. Tom Dearden is just something about Tom Dearden. He killed it in Origin. I just feel like he's got something up his sleeve. The Dragons, I don't know. Dragons, I'm feeling like there's a sneaky dummy half try somewhere. So I'm going to say Jacob Little gets the try.
Jacob Little. He hasn't scored in a while because he started off the season red hot in terms of tries. He hasn't scored in a while.
Yeah.
Julian?
I'm going to go Dragons 1-12 here. I'm going to go a 10 point difference. So 22-12. Any times, I'm going to go, I'll start off with the Cowboys. I'll go for probably Reece Robson. He'll probably get through. And for Dragons, King Tonga, the halves. Yeah. I'm going to get him he's going to step up and get one for the boys, and then they'll go in and win.
Lati.
Boys, first I'm going to touch on the fact, mate, going to North Queensland in the middle of winter down here is the best. Mate, the jeans and the going out shoes are packed first. I know the boys are going to go out there. They've been in a lull. You know, they're chasing that winning feeling. So what I'm going to say, they're going to go out there. You know, Fleno, you know, if you don't win, you're not going out. So the boys are going to go out there. They're going to get the job done. 22-18. And it's going to be 22-18 because they'll be attacking our line just to really raise the heart rate of all the Dragons fans. And as the Dragons team likes to do to us, but we'll defend it out or they'll throw a forward pass or something. And Sloaney will be the man of the moment. He'll get a double and he'll be back.
He's going to score.
We'll go out and see it accordingly.
I like it. I love it.
You got a Cowboys try score?
Don't give a shit. Hopefully it's 22-0.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I mean, just for the sake of it, yeah. I'm going Sloaney double.
All right, well, now we got some fan questions coming from Alex. Jeremy, what was your favorite part about active football life? And is there something that you miss now that you
Man, just the lads. I obviously, you know, like I said, I was aware I wasn't a superstar. I was always sort of grateful.
Don't say that, Latsy. Yes, you were. Don't say that.
No, mate, humble me. But I was grateful to be a rugby league player every day. So I fucking love being around the boys, and you know, not much compares with going to training with 30 mates every day. You know, some you got along with fantastic, some not so much, but you got after it. You trained, you felt good. You know, it was if there was a HR department within a rugby league team, bro, they'd be flat stick. But it was, it set me up well for after rugby league, and not much phases me anymore. It's so it would definitely that was a part I loved the most. I love Mad Mondays too, but I miss being around the lads. Like that literally would be the only thing I miss is going to train with the boys every day. Fucking don't miss the roller coaster of being injured or losing football games. The coach won't look at me. Going into video, you got clips on there, and it's not positive. But obviously the winning and everything great with singing the team song, Big JDB, getting us humming. Like I loved all that, but just the boys, man, the boys.
Yeah,
I love Jack the Bellin singer, but honestly, Ben Craig when he did it, he used to get you G'd off big time.
Big Ginge, he was a good man.
Yeah, mate, you just need a redhead. Honestly, a redhead will just fire you up. Honestly,
we'll get Stuart to do it next year. Not Stuart, Egan, Dylan Egan. Yeah.
There you go.
There is a little bit of Benny Craig vibes about him / Liam Martin.
No, honestly, the Dragons actually have some really good juniors coming through. Like
that's why we're excited.
Their junior club. That's something that keeps me optimistic. Jeremy, I actually got to show you this because I found this. Here, I'm gonna unblur my screen because this is a throwback. How do I? Let me. Oh, no.
It's the settings. Settings button.
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Because this is actually really a full circle moment. I don't know. Hopefully, you can see this. This is me back in 2018, it was in the December. I was on a holiday in Wollongong because I live in Sydney, and we went for the weekend. And you guys were having a training session, and they let me and my dad in, and we got to meet all the players, and you were having a fun time in the basketball hoop, shooting some moves. So just wanted to show that.
Yeah, good man, love that.
Nah, it's good. You're always a fan favorite. All the fans love you. We couldn't dislike you.
Making me feel old now, bro.
No, you weren't the star player, but you're always a star player in our hearts.
Yeah.
Like
thank you. Appreciate it.
I got another question. What's the weirdest fan encounter that you've ever had?
It's a mad question.
Actually,
You can say.
Nah, there's some funny. There's a beautiful lady, Pommy Pat. I love her, but she names cats after all the boys, and she always get photos with you, but they're all blurry, and she'd give them to you, and you could even see them. And I was like, Pat, I had HD camera if I have to. Like, it was at least you couldn't see it, but yeah, I remember she came up to Mez once saying, "I have a pussycat named after you," and that I fucking watched it. Yeah. That's probably one of the better ones I can tell you on a video stream.
Funny ass.
A couple other ones, Dingy Night, Nadia.
You've played under multiple coaches. Who would you say was the best coach?
Man, it's hard to go past Ivan Cleary. Obviously, he's won the 4 previous premierships, and I used to be a little bit awkward with him early in my career because I had him at the Warriors. But then he gave me another opportunity when I didn't get re-signed with the Dragons. I went out there and played my best footy, and he just challenged me, and somehow would always get the best out of me, on and off the field, and challenged me to be a better person. So I'd have to definitely say Ive.
Yeah. Who was the biggest pest in the Dragons team? From both stints, so.
Yeah, Yui Aiken, man. Yui was a punish to me. Like, he was just someone, he especially if he had a few beers and that, he was a nightmare. Like, he'd always just love to annoy me. Gaz Widdop too would jump on board. But just all fun pests, like biggest pest in general, and he just tried to call me Jimmy Maloney. He's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Trying to think. Let's look at some of the What's one rule or thing you will change about the NRL right now?
Oh, bro, where do I start? Fuck yeah, I can write you this.
He's licking his lips.
I already know one on the top of my head that should, but I want to hear Jeremy's one.
Yeah, one, fucking let them fight, and that'll just take so much shit out of the game.
Back to Biff.
Yeah, literally, I just think it makes it hard to watch. You got little guys who carry on like big guys now because they know they won't get punched by one of the big guys. Look, I've got children that play the game, but I just think it's made it worse at different times. The push and shove bullshit, like it's lost that. I don't know. That one that sort of hurts me a little bit. But what else? Man, the constant restarting of sets that does my head in.
Get rid of set restart.
You retired right before they put that in, didn't you? So,
mate, I miss God. Sin bins for like shit as high shots. Fuck, keep the video ref out of it. Only rule, you know what? They should be able to rule on forward passes. Like, get the technology.
Thank you. I've said that for years, man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, there is so many things they could do so much better. Like, it fucking bewilders me some of the shit they do. It's for considering you can in cricket you can find the littlest snicker meter. Like, surely there's technology. Well, I think in soccer they have the VAR
line to determine if you're offside. Why can't they do that with forward passes?
Honestly, like, it just, we can't rule on it. Well, you know what? You fucking should rule on it because you're killing the game. Like, but then the video refs just stay out of everything. Stop jumping in and getting in the ear of the ref. Just, if they missed it in real time, they've missed it. Rule on it after the game.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like the refs aren't as good as they used to be, man. Like, there were some good ones back in the day, but now, I don't know. Just
refs. Yeah. There's a guy from the Shy, refereed maybe the Panthers Broncos grand final. Adam Devy. Is it Adam Devy?
Adam G.
Is it Adam G? Yeah, I like him. I really like him. But I don't know what he's done because they've flicked him. Klein, I can't stand. There's a few of them are okay, and look, I understand it's a hard job, and they're getting directed from above. I think management, within whoever's running that side of it, needs to have a look at themselves. But
some of them need to tap them on the shoulder and I think it's time to move on.
Yeah,
you can't keep up with the game.
Yeah, and again, like I said, like in real time, it is hard in different things to rule on it. So I can't be too critical because I know myself under pressure. If I was doing that, like, you'd make mistakes. So I try not to be too harsh. But then sometimes I'm looking at stuff they do, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you underestimated about the NRL when you came in? Because I know you debuted 2009, as you said, with Eels. By the way, did you play with because my cousin's Tim Manler? Did you play with him? You did.
I did, man. 09. So he played from round 1. I got a crack in like round 9 or 10. Me and Daniel Mortimer, I think, played in the same game, or he might have debuted the week after. Nah, bro, like, just that consistency. Like, I had a couple of really good games, and fucking shit, and just the psychology of being a professional rugby league player. I think that is in that consistency. I'm talking about the young boys. In, like, you watch Hamish and them Couchmans and that, and even that young 5'8", like LKT, like they're good players, man. Like, and they are doing a really good job in terms of their consistency. And they're very mature young kids. I probably wasn't that mature when I was that age. But yeah, just that consistency week in, week out, being a professional rugby league player, probably was the biggest thing, man.
Was there ever a forward or any player you just looked at and not like try to copy their game, but you just looked at and thought, that's the kind of player I want to be like?
Probably not. Just more like picking up what people do. Like, I was a sponge for that. Like, so I'd always stretch because my mindset was, if I'm fit and ready to be picked, I'll play more games. And my first 50 games took me like 5 years. Like, I was in, out, 18th man, injured. And then from like my 50th game to my 150th, I barely missed any. So I think it was just, watching boys, how they train, what they ate, how they applied themselves, what for the game, and just I try and pick up stuff off just boys who I look to as players I wanted to, do what they did in the game.
Yeah. I've got a question from Abraham D. Arthur. He says, why do the Dragons choke at the back? I think he's trying to say, why do the Dragons always choke at the back end of the season? I think they're referring to 17, 18. Is there something that's a psychological reason? Is there what happened in that 2018 season from you guys being undefeated until that Warriors game when you guys lost your first game until I don't know when you guys Anzac Day that the next week you guys won, but there was a bit of a period where you guys didn't win for a while. You guys got pumped by Para, 40-4. Who ended up winning the wooden spoon? That was the worst game to watch. And then lost the Dogs at Cogra, 38 points nil in Gypsy's last game, and the game after, may so rest in peace, Lance Thompson passed away, and you put up that crap performance.
That was the performance. Lance Thompson passed. That game against the Dogs was his tribute. It was just so. I was disgusted.
I feel like I feel like many passionate Dragons fans want to know, why did the Dragons always fall apart at the back end of the season? No better person to hear from you than you.
Yeah, man. I don't think it's a psychological thing, right? And even when I was looking at the games for this week, Manly have beat Bulldogs 11 of the last 12 times. So I honestly think Manly will beat Bulldogs this week. Just, it's not a psychological thing, but maybe Manly read it and go, we're going to win. Remember when it was like the Canberra, we couldn't beat Dragons couldn't beat Canberra down in Canberra, or beat Canberra. I don't know. Whether would you overtrain in the preseason and then you fade as the season goes on, but there's nothing in particular. It's not like, oh shit, we're going to start losing, boys, now strap in.
There's always that post-origin period. We always
a post-origin period.
Struggled.
But even look at the Cronulla Sharks this year, they sucked through Origin. They had no one in it, and now they've won their last 2 or 3 games, and it's after Origin, but they never had anyone in Origin. They should have been consolidating their position in the ladder, but they didn't. It's just rugby league, or any professional sport. It's just a funny game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on expansion at the moment? We've heard the news about the Bears, Papua New Guinea, more teams, probably a potential another one to make it 20. Too many teams, or what are your thoughts?
You're going to affect the product. You're going to affect the product. And again, I haven't watched many NRLW games, but they've gone boom, boom, boom on the expansion, and I dare say that'll be affecting the product of that game because the talent pool is only X, and it's not like our participation numbers are exploding. People are going to play AFL. My young bloke plays AFL, and a heap of his good league mates play that as well. So, and they're going to have to make a choice next year what they do. So I just think the talent pool isn't getting any bigger. Obviously, if they pick, and I hope they do, that they have a good mix of PNG boys in there, because that would make it definitely more appealing to the fans over there who want to support their own. But and I was thinking this before when you were talking about players, and I was like, fuck, I hope we get Tino. But I saw he was linked to that Western Australia team. But man, for some of the boys, if you can go play in PNG and get tax-free cash, I wish I was playing now. I'd be making my life weird. I'll get 100K. Give me 100K tax-free. That's 200 over in PNG. So it's a no, I don't agree. It's the PNG. I think is more of a political play, and I'm not going to get that. And then WA trying to get into a different market.
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for Bears fans, but I don't know. It's just too many teams.
I feel like he's trying to force it now. The Dolphins, you can say it worked, but then now they're saying, "Oh, Dolphins work." Now we're going to start putting teams in this place, that place, this place, that place. It's the NRL used to be such a force to be reckoned with. Now it just feels like I don't know. I don't know. Obviously, it's at the highest. You think about the Vegas and all this, but by putting expansion teams, I feel like it's kind of going to ruin the game. I can't lie. I don't know if it will, but I feel like
the leaders of the game, as in Volandis and his crew, he's a good visionary, and he's doing a good job. But look, man, with a guy who my young bloke who he wants to go play NRL, so that may give him more of an opportunity to play NRL in the future because there's going to be more teams there. But as a product, I think it may suffer. But in time, you may not even notice it, and you back the future of the game. And I really hope it does do well in both WA and PNG.
I got one quick question for you. One more. I know I've got a lot of questions, but one more. Now, obviously, Jez, you're a dad, and I'm a dad, and I've noticed with a lot of NRL teams now, they're doing like this no learn, no play kind of program. Basically, they're trying to push for younger players and even players past retirement to discuss, doing getting education or going into a trade or looking at other things outside of football. And obviously, for some players, their careers just don't take off, and they don't know what's out there besides rugby league. That was all they knew. So, what's your advice to? What are your thoughts on a program like that, and what do you think your advice to people that don't know what to do outside of football?
I love that. Like I was very proactive while playing rugby league. Like I said, that first 5 years, I played 50 games. I'd had 2 shoulder recos prior to that. So I did a uni degree. I did my mortgage broken. I was going out and working while I was still playing. I think, one, the study helped distract me from overthinking rugby league. The same time I sort of started that, my son was born as well. So that was when I started playing really good footy. And that first 5 years, I was probably thinking too much. So I think rugby league doesn't go forever. Like, you retire at 33. I retired at 33, right? So that's 15 years in and around top squads. I played for 11 years of that. Man, I've got 30 to 40 years of working. And like I plan to work when I'm older because I enjoy it. So you really need to focus on something away from rugby league, because that may help the ego side of it as well, because I think some of the young boys probably have a big ego now. They think they're going to play forever. And I just think it's really important. And I love what the NRL is doing in the wellbeing space and education, focus on mental health, because, man, life's hard. And especially, when you are playing in the top grade, because you're in the limelight, you're out in the arena, people can have opinions on you. They're going to tear you down. And, the support systems are there now, but boys need to also be proactive to go and use it, whether it's their well-being, but also for the education. And mate, there are a lot of wealthy people who love rugby league with very successful businesses. So, mate, if you make a little bit of effort and go and speak to these guys, mate, they could help set you up. You're 22, 23. They may get you into an investment that they're in because they want to help. Let's just say, let's use the example of LKT. Mate, I love that kid. He's a good kid. He come up and spoke to me at a networking event. I'm going to give him an opportunity to invest in this thing I'm investing. Boom, you're making money there. Mate, I might help him get him a job. Like, by being a good person and a good bloke, like, people want to help you. Like, it opens doors. If you're a shit and you're sitting in the corner and you won't talk to anyone, doors are going to open for you. But that's just life in general. Like, you have a crack.
Yeah, Jeremy, I want to ask quickly, because nobody asked this, but I just want to know, growing up, who did you support in the NRL? Who was your team?
Mate, you haven't listened to the potty this week. I spoke about this yesterday. Maloney was away with Petro Sivanasiva. He's listened to our podcast. I was a Broncos fan.
Really?
Fair enough.
Grew up in Port Macquarie. That's just over the border in Queen. No, it's not. But I don't know. I ended up supporting they're a good team. So I'm assuming, like, my young bloke, he was a Dragons fan, but he's turned coded and now he's gone to the Panthers because they've won 4 comps. We did that in 2020. Yeah. And, when you're a kid, you're impressionable. You like a winner. So I reckon that's probably why I would have been 94. I would have been 8. So, Broncos started humming in 92, 93. I was a Broncos fan.
Yeah, my dad's not going to like that answer at all.
You know what? My mum and dad supported the Dragons.
There you go.
There we go.
Were there any jerseys that you wore that you like actually hated the design of, and that you like, or that you hated? Because you've played for, it doesn't have to be for the Dragons, but like I know sometimes they have some shocking jerseys.
Man, I I don't know if you've ever seen me dress. I wouldn't say I'm very fashionable. So I'm not looking like some of the boys. I'm not wearing that. Whereas I'm like, fuck, whatever. I'll wear whatever. I'll wear black boots like back in the day at different times. So fashion wasn't my thing. I'm not that fast. Some of the jerseys I do look back on were like, I remember there's a couple of the Panthers and Warriors were freaking cool. But there's nothing I really looked at and go, that shit. Oh, actually, you know what? I take that back. There was a chocolate soldier one we wore at the Panthers, which was pretty shit.
Oh, yeah.
I need to fact check this. Chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been 20.
How many of your game-worn jerseys do you still have?
Well, actually, we're going to run a thing through the Dragons. My 2012 Anzac Day worn jersey. I'm going to give it as a giveaway as part of the Journeyman. So he's can go on the run.
I'll take it.
I've got my debut jersey. Maybe 100 games, 150 they signed. And then I think I had a Nines jersey signed by the Panthers because I was captain, but I'll probably give that away at some point. And then, no, I don't know. I kept the Prime Minister's, me one and only rep jersey, man. But no, I don't think I got that much. Maybe a Sharks jersey in there somewhere. Maybe debut.
We're only interested in red and white. The other ones,
yeah.
What do you do?
The Journeyman.
Yeah. What do you do with the training gear after, like, because you've been to a few clubs and they just hand out training gear and all that? What do you end up doing with them? Man,
I just give it all away, literally. Like at the end of the year, a few boys, because I was a big bastard. Like I didn't have a lot of big mates who didn't like play footy with me. Like my mates in Port weren't all like my size, so I just give it to whoever.
I love that 2018 one when you punched Cameron Smith in the nuts, but that's just me.
It might be in the museum. I don't know.
No, I thought the Dragons have always
should be in the St. George's Museum for sure.
The red V as a jersey and as like a brand is so iconic. It's such a clean look. Like it can't get much better.
And that's why I find that funny. You boys mentioned about Brent Reid. Like I just find that very odd because as a brand we are synonymous. Like St. George Bank, which we're no longer affiliated with, but that V and that St. George, like that dragon, like fuck, everyone knows that.
Yeah, I know. It's just
that is our brand. So that's bullshit.
Yeah, my boys boys know me. Yeah, the boys know me. I'm one of like 4 generations of St. George's fans, like from my late grandfather in the early 60s or late 50s to my dad, to me and my brother. And now I've got a son of my own. So we know what it's like. We know what it's like, yeah.
I don't know. The Dragons will be great again. Make the Dragons great again. I know I trust Flano. Flano's the right guy, and I'm sure you agree, Jeremy, with your relationship with him. He's the right guy to bring us back. I trust him. I think lots of players have been getting some unfair criticism on him. But I think, all the boys just got to rally around this team and trust the process. All the fans have got to trust the process. I know there's a few players at the Dragons who are there for the money, but there's some players that are there who actually genuinely love the club. Like I say, all those juniors, like the Egan's, the Hamish Stewarts, like Sloan, like even Gutton. There's so many players. Kyle Flanagan. These players love the club. These players love the Dragons. I'm not going to talk about the players who maybe are there because of their management or because of the money, but I've got a couple in my mind right now. But it's just like the Dragons. People. This is one of the things when people say Dragons aren't a big club. Like it's the biggest load of BS because there's so many players who love the Dragons for a reason, because the Dragons, growing up, Dragons are always successful. Obviously, we haven't been successful in a while, but you can't look at this team right now and think we're going to get any worse next year, because we're not. Dragons are definitely surprised. Like we're not going to get worse. I disagree to that statement.
Well, that was actually something I was going to ask you. Look, I understand we don't have as many wins as we did last year. I know that the year isn't over yet. But would you say, Jeremy, that this year we are a much better team than last year, a much more balanced team?
I feel like we are more competitive, and you know what? Maybe we have missed Benny Hunt a little bit with different things, but and you just spoke about Flano. Like I feel like there is a lot more grit in the team. Like they're grinding, they're staying in the arm wrestle. It's just lacking a little bit of clutch, maybe that icing on the cake, which I spoke about the Sharks getting maybe when Maloney went there and Mick Ennis. Hopefully Atkinson and. We get surprised with something else in the next couple of weeks. Is that icing for us?
I think it kind of reminds me of the 2023 season. Obviously, we weren't as bad as 2023, but just for the fact that most of the season when we lost, it was only by close margins. Last year when we lost,
4 in a row we lost. Like it was just
last year. last year when we lost big, like massive margins. When we lost last year, if you set out for against, we never lost like a close. Oh, sometimes we, but when we lost, it was always smashing, and that was kind of like when we won. Last year was such a black and white season. Like it was either we were really, really good or really, really crap. Yeah. This season, it's like in that grey area, we're like, oh, if we get a win, we just get it like the Storm game or the Manly game, right? Oh, but if we lose, it's by 1 point, it's by 2 points. Like we're not far off, honestly. Like we're not.
No, I agree, man. But just back to the young blokes you were talking about. Like there is a lot of positivity when you look at them boys, and I do feel like they're how they want to play for the club. Because someone's like, oh, like you do have a heap of good juniors, but you're worried about losing them. But I feel like a lot of them boys will want to stay and play for the Red V.
Yeah,
because they are local juniors, like your Couchies, Nick Tisagrunas and Egan. You got that Jacob Hullengar who,
he's a gun.
Yeah, so the future does look bright.
Yeah. Final question at the end of the night. Who's your tip to win the comp and why?
Oh, look, if Panthers make the top 4, they win again.
Yeah.
Fair enough. They were going a crazy run.
But I'd love to see Canberra or Bulldogs winning, like I'm mates with Serrato.
Okay, that's why.
Fair enough. Only because I love Ciro. But Raiders are awesome to watch. A lot of good young guys there, tough middles. They're doing really well. But, man, Panthers make it. It'd be Panthers. It potentially looks like Panthers Melbourne again. But
that's why I said I tipped it from the side of the. I think it's Melbourne are going to win the comp. I know Melbourne have been a bit flat, but I genuinely think when finals, they'll time their run perfectly. And same with Panthers. Panthers are peaking. Like, they look dead and out of it. They were last at one point. But, see what happens when you start clicking and it's the Panthers. They've won 4 in a row. When they win, they can't be stopped. And right now, they don't look like losing. So, honestly,
if you're an opposition team and you're playing them in the finals, you're fucking nearly mentally beaten before you go out there because Panthers know the standard. They know, like, their memory. They've been here. They've been there 100 times, and I did honestly, genuinely didn't think they'd bounce back and do what they're doing, but now they have. I'm just like far out. Like,
I still think they can win it outside of the 4. I'll be honest. I think they could still do it. They could be one of the first teams in years that can pull that off.
Just that psychological thing, like they can beat teams before they take the field. And Cleary and how that Origin series finished, I think, man, he will have a chip on his shoulder, and he'll just want to fucking prove that he is one of the best of all time.
But being honest,
Cleary's a scary player. Yeah, finals Cleary, don't get in his way.
Yeah.
Being honest, Lati, are you spewing that you weren't at the Panthers when they started winning? Because when you were at there, they didn't win the comp, and now they can't stop winning the comp. Are you spewing about it?
Man, I just wanted to win one comp, bro. Like, even before I played NRL, like I didn't like. Obviously, I love the Blues, but I just wanted to win a comp. That's all I ever wanted. I was at Parramatta 09 when they lost. I won 07, 08 reserve grade at Penrith. Para, we won the comps. 9, I wasn't a part of the squad when they lost. I was in the squad, but not in the team. 2011 at Warriors, I missed it, and then 14 at Penrith, we beat Roosters first week. Went to the third week of the final, and Bulldogs beat us and knocked us out. And then
you end up at Cronulla the year after they won the comp.
Year after. I remember Gallen always said, he goes, boys, we need to beat Cowboys first week of the finals. We'll make the grand final. And then they went and did that. And they beat us in a shit game. We both played like shit.
Cowboys, I remember Flano in that press conference spewing because they were saying that you guys got robbed because I think there was like a ruck infringement. So I can't remember the
John Morris or something. I don't know. It was something like that.
We just played like shit anyway. But look, I'm not gonna lie. Even if I just got one, I just always wanted to win a premiership. Everything that goes with it. The week of the grand final, obviously, then to win it, the party would have been something to behold. But mate, at the same time, because I was lucky enough to play with a few of them boys, I still do love Dragons. Then Panthers. They're like my second team.
Yeah.
I honestly reckon, like you said, Jeremy, if we didn't have those injuries in 2018, I reckon you got a lot on then.
I agree, man. And that's like, yeah, it is. But that's the sport, right? Like it's whoever's can keep the team fit when the whips are cracking. That's part of it.
I honestly think this year's Bulldogs team is exactly like the 2018 Dragons team. I think they start off the season right on top, and I think they're going to start slowly falling. I think they're going to. Obviously, I don't like to compare the Bulldogs and Dragons in any way, since how much I just like the Bulldogs.
As soon as Galvin signed it, just for doggies, they've had to move on players.
Actually, Lati, do you think the Galvin signing has took a hit like to the Dogs season? Do you think it's impacted?
Look, it's hard, right? Like you talk about synergy within a football team, and I understand the reasons why they've done what they've done. I don't know. Like I reckon that's a fair analogy. There are some things I'm seeing where they're as a team they're just not playing as good as there was, and I don't think you're a professional rugby league player. You got to go out and perform every week. So I don't think it is the Galvin thing, but I genuinely. I think Manly will beat them this week, just on that stat I saw, and they weren't good against us. They haven't been as consistent, but different to us, that they know how to win the close games. They've got guys out there who, they want the ball in their hand and they're icing them games. So, it'd be interesting. It's going to be one hell of a back end of the year of the season, because you've got Broncos and Penrith just outside the 8. Warriors obviously lost 2 key players in Barnett and Metcalf, so it's going to be a cracking end of the year. Cronulla found form again. It's
going to be a really good final season. I think it's a very open comp. So the past few years, it's always been like a 2-horse race. If it's like Broncos and Panthers in 23, last year it was always going to be Panthers and Storm. Like I feel like there's always a 2-horse race. This year, I can name about 5 teams that are legitimate chances to win the comp. So
yeah,
it's going to be very exciting.
You mentioned it too with the Lockie Galvin. Yeah, it's a big risk, but I think Dragons fans are also forgetting we took that same risk back in 2010 because we had our team, everything was set. We had both Scott and Jason Nightingale on the right, and we took a gamble and decided to bring back Mark Gasnier. And we thought, is this going to ruin our season? Because I remember the first 2 weeks, Gasnier actually played shit. Like he wasn't finding his form. We're like, oh no, did we make a mistake here? But I mean, it worked out in the end. But it was a gamble and we took it, and who knows how it will work out for the Dogs.
Yeah.
And I think Ciro did the right thing. Like, get rid of Sexton. Don't have Galvin on the bench. That was not working. Yeah. That was working against the Dogs. And for Ciro, I feel like he's done the right thing there. And you just need to go with Galvin, back him. And if they fall short, they fall short. But I think that was that was affecting the synergy team, bringing him on, putting Sexton the dummy half, and Marnie's like a little dog with AIDS, man. You need him out there barking and being a pain in the ass.
On that note, that's going to wrap up this episode of the Saints podcast. If you did enjoy this episode with Jeremy Latimore, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment down below which other guests you want us on. Latsy, thank you so much for being on, brother. It was
all good, boys. Good chat.
Legend.
Guys.
Go the Dragons.
Go the Dragons.
See you, lads.
Yeah.